Hey kids, it's time to continue with Owen and his pets. I wanted to say this was the final chapter, but I don't think it is. But this is the one where Lincoln is in the back of the truck and they're taking him to the doctor. Yeah. So Owen is in the truck with the nice man Jacob, who is driving them to the doctor to save Lincoln. Jacob is Fiesta's owner. In the back of the truck, the pets are yapping with each other. "We really appreciate you and Jacob helping us, Fiesta," said Kashiba. "Yes, thank you so much, Fiesta," said Babiba. "Well, we are very happy to help. Just wish we could have found Lincoln earlier. I feel bad for running away when he stepped in to save me," said Fiesta. "Hey, Fiesta," said Babiba, "I was noticing that you and Lincoln look like you could be from the same breed of dog." "Yeah, I was noticing that too," said Fiesta. The truck hit a bump in the road and shook the animals a bit. It woke up Lincoln, who started to whimper from his injuries a little bit. "Stay with us, Lincoln. We're on the way to the doctor," said Kashiba. "Thank you, Lincoln," he said. He was struggling to talk. He was hurting so bad. They felt the truck slow down and looked up out of the truck. Owen came around and said, "We made it to the vet." "Do you know what a vet is, kids?" "A vet is an animal doctor. Veterinarian, short for veterinarian, but we like to call them vets." Jacob came around and opened the tailgate on his truck and made all the pets get out except for Lincoln, who gently picked up and carried to the front door of the doctor's office. Owen rushed over and opened the door, and they all went in. The lady behind the desk said, "How can I help you?" "We have an emergency," said Owen. "Our dog got into a fight with two other big dogs, and he's hurt really bad." The lady jumped up out of her chair and said, "Right this way." So they followed her to this room. It had a tall and long table. "Place him here on the table very gently." Jacob laid Lincoln up on the table. The lady rushed out of the room and came back with a nurse. "What's his name?" asked the nurse. "It's Lincoln," said Owen. "Well, Lincoln, looks like you got banged up a bit. We'll take some x-rays and get Doc Tisdale in here to check him out. In the meantime, all of you please sit in the waiting room and we'll come out and let you know what's going on." Owen, Babiba, Kashiba, and their new friends Jacob and Fiesta went to the waiting room and sat very quietly. They were showing great concern for their friend Lincoln. After a few minutes, Owen asked Jacob how he came about having Fiesta. Jacob replied, "Well, I was in the store parking lot were these kids, and they found these puppies in a box that were abandoned. That was around 2 years ago. They were just trying to find some homes for them. Well, this one was so precious, she was trying to jump out of the box. It looked like she was trying to get my attention, so I picked her up." "She's a beautiful dog," said Owen. "Since we are sitting here, I might as well tell you that she talked to me earlier." The man's eyes got real big, and he looked down at Fiesta, and as if he was about to get mad but Owen went on to say, "It's okay, though, because my dog and cat both talked to me, just like Fiesta. Funny, though, they never talked like that to us until Lincoln came along." "Whew," said the man. Oh, he had a big sigh of relief. "I was so afraid I was going crazy. Fiesta and I got caught several times talking to each other. I thought maybe I was the only person that could hear her talk." "When you were sitting in the park with her," Owen went on to ask, "did she mention anything about the two big dogs that scared her?" "Why, yes, she did. Well, when you went to get the truck, she recognized right away that it was Lincoln that tried to save her from those two bully dogs," explained Owen. "Wow, I had no idea," said Jacob. "The one thing I noticed is that Fiesta and Lincoln look like the same breed. She's just a little smaller than him." Owen started getting more curious. The receptionist got up and left the room. When she disappeared down the hallway, Owen called Fiesta to come over and talk to him and Jacob. "Fiesta," asked Owen, "do you remember where you were born? Try not to talk too loud." So Fiesta looked around a little bit and didn't see anybody around except them, and said, "Well, I was born in the back of a barn at some farm. I don't know where. Kashiba and Babiba heard her and came walking over to listen better." Owen asked, "Would you happen to be the same dog that got startled when you saw the man in the barn and you turned and ran into the bucket hitting your head? Was that you?" "Why, yes, that was me." "How would you know about that?" asked Fiesta. "I have some very incredible news for you," said Owen, as Kashiba and Babiba looked at each other with great big smiles because they already knew what was going on. Jacob was a little confused, though, but patiently listened to his story as it unfolded. I heard the same story from another dog the other day, said Owen. Wow, really? Said Fiesta. Which dog? Where? Who was it? Fiesta, Lincoln is your brother. My brother? Yes, Fiesta. He told us the story. He told us the story the other day and mentioned how his little sister got startled by the man and ran and hit the bucket that got his attention. Then he picked all you pups up and put you in a box and took you away in the back of a truck. Yes, that's exactly what happened, said Fiesta. But which brother is he? There were 8 of us in that box. Well, Lincoln told us that he was the first one that jumped out of the truck when he came to the stop sign, said Owen. Wow, Owen, said Fiesta with excitement. He's my oldest brother. He was the first one born out of all of us. I have missed him so much. I remember saying bye to him as we rode away in that truck. Tell Owen what happened to you afterwards, Fiesta, said Jacob. Well, we rode for a long way until we came to an area where there was not very many people around. I heard that farmer ask a few people if they wanted any puppies, and they all said no. Next thing I know, we all got lifted up out of the truck inside that cardboard box, and he just placed us in a store parking lot and drove away. Some kids came along and saw we were alone, and they stood there and helped us find homes. I was one of the first ones to leave when Jacob here reached down and picked me up. We have been together ever since, but I never knew what happened to Lincoln. Well, Lincoln told us that a girl picked him up off the side of the road where he jumped out. He lived with them for about a year until one day their house caught on fire when the family was gone. Wait, Owen, said Jacob. Where was this fire? Not really sure. Lincoln never said. He just remembered getting scared and ran out from it through the back and took off running, and he never looked back. He said he had been on his own for the past year. Why do you ask? Well, Jacob said, because there was a family right down the street from where we lived whose house burnt down, right about that same time you're talking about. Wow, Jacob, said Fiesta, do you think Lincoln belonged to that family? Lincoln said the girl's name was Christy and she had a brother named Jake. Why, those are Bob and Carol's kids, said Jacob. You mean I just found Lincoln's home as well as his sister? This is getting better by the minute, said Owen. That family always thought Lincoln got burned up in the house fire. Boy, will they be in for a shock, said Jacob. Kashiba popped up and said, they're not the only ones that's going to be in for a shock. Who else? Asked Babiba. Lincoln, said Kashiba. Lincoln is not going to believe this when he comes out of surgery. Right then, the doctor came out into the waiting room. I wanted to let you all know that Lincoln came through surgery fine, and that he will be up and around soon. Well, can we see him, Doc? Asked Owen. We better let him rest for now, said the doctor. Why don't you all go get something to eat, and by the time you get back, Lincoln will be up and around by then. Sounds good, Doc, said Jacob. Come back in a couple of hours. That should be enough time. Thanks, Doc, said Owen. So they all left the doctor's office with a great feeling of relief, knowing that Lincoln is going to be feeling better. But now they are very anxious to tell him the news. And that's it for Chapter 5 of Owen and His Pets. Be sure and come back next time to find out the final chapter of how it all unfolds. Oh, sorry about that. That didn't record, did it? How do you know? Did it? Okay. What's everybody laughing about? You're still sitting in there laughing? That must have recorded because they're still sitting in there laughing. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Until next time.